All right, here we are back to the next 30 questions of today. Let's go quickly, Mente. And that is the wrong question, actually. Again, it was sleeping. Aye. Let's change that one. Oh, that's the wrong one. Give me 1 second. Here. Yes, now I think it should work. Okay, now now everything is fine. Let me adjust it. Okay, you receive a telephone call while driving. What must you be aware of? I may use the telephone if the telephone is not used for longer than 7 seconds here. The telephone is not held in my hand for this purpose. Using the telephone only requires a momentary glance. The correct answer here is definitely not the first one, but the second and the third is correct. Nice. You're planning a long journey with your motor vehicle. Before commencing the journey, what should you check on the vehicle to avoid endangering yourself and others? Headlamp setting. The windscreen wipers are working probably. The tires. All three of them actually. You can check. And keep in mind, it's a long journey, so it's good that you check everything, that nothing will be in between of the start and your destination of your vacations, for example. So it makes sense to check everything probably, that you have no worries on your go. What is the main function of the headrest in a car? The headrest replaces the seat belt in the rear seats. The headrest enhances safety for the occupants. The headrest improves the seating position. I think that's not that easy. Obviously, enhance the safety for the occupants is correct, but improve the seating position? Don't click it. If you would do so, it would be wrong. It's just the first one. Enhance safety for the occupants. Okay. You come to a stop unexpectedly on a pedestrian crossing. What do you do? Reverse under no circumstance, even though the roadway is clear behind you. Move slightly forward or backwards in order to clear the crossing as quickly as possible. Move half onto the footpath in order to clear the crossing. 1, 2, or 3? Or all? Or just some? Move slightly forward or backward in order to clear the crossing as quickly as possible is the correct answer, because you should leave the pedestrian crossing free. And therefore, if you see that behind one is no one, it's better to reduce it or get a little bit backwards, that pedestrians might cross it again. What may result from taking part in illegal road races? The imposition of a term of imprisonment on the vehicle driver, the confiscation of the vehicle driver's driving license, the occurrence of serious road traffic accidents. The imposition of a term of imprisonment of the vehicle driver means, in other words, if you do illegal road races, you might go to prison. And yes, that is possible. And that you might lose your driver license too. The occurrence of serious road traffic accident as well, obviously. All three of them are correct. What motor vehicles engaged in the commercial or paid transport of goods are prohibited from driving on Sundays and public holidays? Trucks towing a trailer, cars towing a trailer, trucks with a gross vehicle weight rating in excess of 7.5 tons. In Germany, all truck drivers need a small card, and on that card are all information stored, like who's driving and when he's starting, when he's ending, and when he's about to make a break. And you are not allowed to drive or work on Sundays in Germany, and it would be noted at that card. So, in other words, trucks in every form, so towing a trailer or without a trailer, are not allowed to drive on Sundays or public holidays. There are some exceptions, for example, if they have to, if they have cargo like elements which might be wasted and they have to be delivered, that they're available on Monday, then yes, but these are the only exceptions. So the first and the last answer is correct. And meanwhile, with a car, you could drive with a trailer even on Sunday or public holidays. You are entering a public road, e.g., example, I don't know, from a field or building site and considerably soil the road. Who is responsible for eliminating this traffic obstruction? So you actually make everything dirty with your car. Typical when you drive, for example, with a tractor over the fields and then enter the road, it becomes sometimes quite dirty. The competent road building authority, the persons living along this section of the road, you as you have caused it. And yes, it is you who have caused it. So it's the last one. What must you do to avoid endangering others by equipment or load which has fallen off your vehicle? Depending on the situation, secure the danger spot and immediately inform the road service or police. Proceed and inform the nearest municipal office. Municipal office? Municipal office, okay. Remove the parts yourself. 2 correct answers in that case. Secure the danger spot and immediately inform the road service or police, and remove the parts yourself. Depends, yeah, if you're, for example, on a highway, you can't remove it by yourself and then you have to ask the police. If you're on a rural road, you can do it by your own, probably. Okay, let's go on with the movie. The street is blocked due to an accident. Yeah, there's police, ambulance. Okay, but better focus on the road. What is the right course of action in the situation? I take a photograph of the scene of the accident. I continue driving as before. I brake hard immediately. There is just one answer, yeah, that is I continue driving as before. Please don't make photos, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't slow down. Well, let's say it like that. In that case, it was highly under control, and in that case it was not necessary to slow down. However, if there are parts of the accident on the road, a lot of people running over the road, and then obviously you have to slow down, but please not to look at it or make photos. Yes. Okay, this time we're again on highway, driving with 120. It's a bit rainy, and the car to the left is starting to slow down. They have emergency lights, we as well, and there is an accident on the right. And this time there were people be next to the road, and there was an open accident. Okay, what is the right course of action now? I continue driving just as before. I reduce my speed further. I drive as far to the left as possible. And you see, while you're still thinking, there are people waiting, another person, and this doesn't look clear actually. So I continue driving as before might be dangerous in that case, but reduce my speed is a good idea, and drive as far as left as possible to give more distance to the crashed cars in case someone might step out is the correct answer. Your vehicle has collided with a wild animal. What is the right course of action here? I load the animal into my vehicle, having some nice sausages at home. I secure the scene of accident. I notify the police. I should be serious. Please don't take the animals with you. If they're dead, they belong to someone, and you are not allowed to take them home. And if they're not dead, let's say you want to bring them to animal hospital or something like that as well, it might be quite risky because we are talking of wild animals. So you don't know how they react, if they're under pain, scared and all that. So you have to leave them, and that's why you don't take them in your car, but you secure the scene of accident and notify the police. If you know, you can even as well notify the I don't know, wild keeper, hunter. I think hunter is the correct word. Some places have responsible persons, and if you know them, you can give them a call. However, the police actually knows who's responsible for that part if you don't know it, so it's the easiest way to call them, and they will inform the correct person who will look for the animal. Why should you always carry the European accident report form with you on your journey? Because in the event of an accident, the European accident report form makes it easier to document the accident with foreign-speaking parties involved in the accident, enables the parties involved to independently document the accident, unambiguously clarifies the issue of the liability at the scene of the accident. I think that's quite important for us watching this. I suppose your German is not 100% good, or you feel more secure to speak in English. That's why you're in that channel and not in the German one, probably. So it's highly recommended that you have this kind of report with you, because it will be translated in English and even in other languages, so it's easier to fill it up, even if you might not talk with the German one who crashed into your car. But with this form, it makes it definitely easy. So that's why the first one, and it enables the parties involved to document the accident. And independently, it's like on the left someone notes it, and on the right someone notes his opinion. So it's clear that there are two different opinions, and that's why the third answer is not correct. However, the insurance might read out of the information, for example, who made a mistake. It's possible to see signs or something like that, for example, in the drawing what you will do. How does an e-call system work in the event of a serious accident? That the e-call system automatically relays the position of the motor vehicle, the time of the accident, the severity of the injuries of the persons in the motor vehicle. This e-call system is a button on the roof or on the top of your car. Well, not on top, but inside in the cabin. And it's normally just a small push, and then you can talk with authorities to clarify an accident. However, just by activating that button, the position of the motor vehicle will be transmitted, the time of the accident, and the severity of the injuries of the persons. No, This you have to actually tell because the sensors can't know how hardly injured you are. So it's the first and the second one. In what situation is the e-call system designed to be triggered manually? I think that's an important question. If a passenger suffers a medical emergency, if my vehicle sustains a puncture, if I'm witness to a serious accident. Well, I had one time a colleague of mine who activated it, and actually they were coming with everything: ambulance, police, fire workers as well. So please just use it wisely when it's really necessary. For example, if a passenger suffers a medical emergency or if you witness a serious accident. But if you just have a puncture, it's not necessary to use that e-call system. Okay, you're traveling at a speed of approximately 40 kilometers per hour. The lights change from green to amber when you are 10 meters away. What do you do? Stop or proceed? Actually, I made a video regarding that one. You can probably find it here on YouTube. How to deal with traffic lights turning yellow, to stop or not to stop. In that case, 10 meters with a speed of 40. Imagine you need 1 second until you actually can react. In that second with 40 kilometers, you have been quite advanced, and then you can just stop if you do an emergency brake. So please proceed in that case. That will be too close to stop safely. You are traveling at a speed of approximately 40 kilometers per hour. The lights change from green to amber when you are 40 meters away. What do you do? Proceed or stop? Okay, 40 meters is quite a long distance, and yes, in that case, it is better to stop. You're approaching a traffic light which has been green for some time. What do you do? Watch the traffic light closely, approach but be ready to stop. Accelerate even though the speed limit is exceeded. So do everything to catch it by green. Which is definitely not the correct answer. So correct is watch the traffic light closely, yeah, because there's a high probability that it will change after a long time from green to amber, and that's why approach but be ready to stop is the correct answer as well. What is true of permanently illuminated signs? We're driving 80, we're on a highway, and that is probably an exit or an entry lane. It's thick lines here, and we see here different signs or digital signs. On the left, 2 red X's that means that you're not allowed to drive there. A yellow one on top means that we have to heed 1 lane to the right, and on the right we are allowed to go straight ahead according to the arrow pointing out below and the green color of it. What is true to permanently illuminated signs? True of, can't read anymore. Okay, vehicles may not stop at the side of the carriageway with permanently illuminated signs. Permanently illuminated signs apply to multi-track motor vehicles only. Permanently illuminated signs either block lanes or open them up to traffic. 2 correct answers here. And yes, first one, because they might change the lights and that's why you should stop there. And permanently illuminated signs either block lanes or open them up for traffic. That's right. What does the permanently illuminated signs mean? Vehicles traveling in lane. Maybe I first have to open it. On the most left in lane, it's 4. On the left it's 3 in our lane 2, and on the right is 1. And there we have the signs again. The same situation like the picture before. So what does these permanently illuminated signs mean? Oh my god. Vehicles traveling in lane 1 may continue driving on it. 2 must change to the right side lane. 3 and lane 4 must stop. 1 must continue driving on it because he has the green arrow on top of him. 2 must change to the right side lane because it's yellow pointing out to the right. And 3 and lane 4 must stop is not correct. You're not allowed to use it, but it's not that you have to stop there. You are not allowed to use the lane 4 and 3, and therefore change please immediately to 2 if possible. A vehicle with flashing blue lights and siren sounding is approaching you from the rear. What is the right course of action now? So we're driving 80, from behind comes an ambulance car. And how should we deal with that situation? I reduce my speed, I stop immediately, I drive over to the right side as far as possible. I stop immediately, but you should reduce your speed and drive as far on the right side as possible that the ambulance car can see the coming traffic and pass you with a higher speed. Exactly, that's nice, that's it. All right, then let's open the next chapter, and this is regarding signs. And I always thought signs that can't be that difficult, but I think they're not that easy. What do you do when you see this traffic sign on an autobahn? Increase your alertness and, as a matter of precaution, increase your distance to the vehicle in front. In case of a traffic jam, brake and switch on hazard warning lights. In case of a traffic jam, move over onto the hard shoulder and proceed. So that sign actually, first about, tells us it's a triangle, so it's always something regarding attention, and inside of it we see a traffic jam, various cars behind each other waiting. You have to take care, there's quite often traffic jam. It's often positioned in front of bends when there is quite behind of it a traffic light. Then this, for example, in a situation in Frankfurt, when you come from the Frankfurt Stadium driving to Frankfurt, you have that one, and you can't see the cars waiting for the traffic light behind the bend, and that's why this sign is warning you, be careful, there might be waiting cars or stopping cars. Okay, so what to do? Increase your alertness and, as a matter of precaution, increase your distance to the vehicle in front. Yes. Chase of traffic jam, brake and switch the hazard warning lights as well. In case of traffic jam, move over into the hard shoulder and proceed. No, hard shoulder is not allowed to be used. What must you do when you see this traffic sign? Reduce speed before the bend. Drive as far as possible over the right-hand side. Indicate left before the bend. Reduce speed before the bend, yes, because you might fly out of the bend if you drive too fast into it. Drive as far as possible over on the right-hand side, yes, because the coming traffic might cut the curve or get into your lane, and that's why if you're quite far to the right, you have more space to the coming traffic, which you can't see or you might see very late. That's why that's a good idea, and you have to activate that button. And indicate left before the bend. No, you just indicate if you change your direction, but in that case you follow the road and you're not turning left into another road system. You just follow the bend, and that's why you don't have to indicate. What do you do within this danger section? Drive more slowly, watch out for wild animals. Dip the headlights and brake when you see wild animals. Do not avoid hitting wild animals if oncoming traffic would be endangered. That sign means that from now on, these two arrows telling us that from now on, 3 kilometers you have to count with wild animals crossing the road. So always read from down up, and this arrow means from now on over the distance of the kilometers noted in between. So drive more slowly, watch out for wild animals is a good idea. Dip the headlights and brake when you see them as well, because then they get less scared when with a little bit luck they pass before you reach them with your car. And do not avoid hitting wild animals if oncoming traffic is endangered. You have to sacrifice the animal, even if it sounds very hard, but to avoid an accident with another car, it's necessary sometimes. I hope you will never get in that situation. But here we have to activate it to have them all correct. What should you anticipate when you see this road sign? Tree branches lying on the roadway. Vehicles ahead that might swerve out suddenly to the left. Vehicles ahead that may brake suddenly. That sign is telling us that we have to be careful. There is danger. The danger might cause low hanging trees, or trees which are not that big, and that's why they might be hidden by trucks or other vehicles which are might high or might be quite high. So tree branches lying on the roadway, yes, if some of them hit them actually, then you have to count with that one. Vehicles ahead that might swerve out, yes, because they try to don't hit one of the part of the trees, and vehicle ahead that may brake suddenly as well. You are driving on this motorway. What is the right course of action? We are on a highway, so normally these would be all our lanes and the coming traffic would be behind the wall, but because of the construction, the coming traffic is probably on our left, and we have two lanes regarding the yellow lines, and probably we have overtaken the green car because we are still on the left hand side, and we should, if everything is free, return to the right because we are still on highway. What is the right course of action? I move into the right hand lane. I only use the left hand lane if there is a breakdown. I remain in my current lane. Just the first one. I move into the right hand lane and only the left hand if there is a breakdown. No, just when you want to overtake. Remain in my current lane is not correct. You always have to use the most right hand one if possible. What must you nice, exactly one. Nice to see you. What must you remember when you see this traffic sign? Maximum permissible speed 50 kilometers per hour. Track vehicles have priority. Use snow chains. I have never seen that sign, but it probably exists in the south of Germany, getting close to the Alps. And yeah, if you have snow chains on, then your maximum permissible speed is 50 kilometers per hour. That's why first is correct. And you have to use snow chains there. The third is correct too. Track vehicles have priorities, not correct. Okay, that's difficult. Actually, we're nearly to the end right now, and you just got into the really tricky ones. Which traffic sign refers to the permissible total mass? So there we can see it. No, you can't see it. Let's move in a little bit. So that the one on the left is picture number 1. And this one on the right is picture number 2. And they are asking us Which traffic sign refers to the permissible total mass? Answer number 1 or 2? 2? Yes, that's correct. Exactly, because the first one tells you that cars are not allowed to drive there if they weigh 5.5 tons or more. Okay, which traffic sign refers to the actual mass? Again, this is sign 1 and that is sign 2. Answer number 1 or 2. So right now, it's not the permitted, but the actual mass. And obviously, if the one before was 2, I think it's quite clear it's 1 exactly in that case. Nice. All right, which vehicle are prohibited from using a road sign posted like this? Vehicles with a permissible axle weight exceeding 2 tons. Vehicles with a permissible total weight not exceeding 2 tons. Vehicles with an actual axle weight exceeding 2 tons. I would say the important thing is the actual axle weight. And it does not exceed more than 2 tons. If not, it would be not allowed. So I would say 3. Exactly, Aslan. I'm with you. Good. All right. And the last question for today. What does this traffic sign indicate? A prohibition for vehicles more than 2 meters with including load, a roadway 2 meters wide. You must keep a lateral distance of at least 2 meters from other vehicles. Before I made that stream, I was with my wife here streaming in the Spanish channel, and I have to admit that I made that one wrong. That was the only wrong one. But yeah, now I will do it correct. Hopefully. Say 1. A prohibition for vehicles more than 2 meters wide, including load. It refers to the road design and not at your vehicle. A roadway 2 meters wide. Oh, no. That was exactly what I said last one. I think you were right, Arslan. And I'm again doing the same mistake like before. A prohibition for vehicles more than 2 meters wide, including load. You're right, it's the first one. Yes, you saved me probably. All right, then I'm really tired. It was a long day. And thank you that you joined at the end, Arslan, and for all the others watching this. Yeah, see you tomorrow on Friday, 7 same time, yeah, at 8:30. All right, goodbye. Have a nice evening.